I wanted to go over an engineering bulletin that I have. The reason why our fabric works so well is because it's double punched. And the longer you have your system in, the better the soil filter zone that's formed becomes. Welcome to the French Drain Man channel. I'm Robert Sherwood. I get asked in the comments section on our channel a lot, do you put stone under your pipe? No, I don't have to. And this comes up all the time, so I'm just going to do a short video on it. Okay, so the guys that are trying to tell you not to use our fabric, our double punch, non-woven geotextile fabric, they're telling you to put stone under the pipe. And I'm going to show you why. Okay, so here's a visual. No geo fabric. Yeah, you got to put stone under the pipe. Otherwise, the pipe, when it sinks into the clay, into the mud, I mean, you got a water problem, so the subsoil gets saturated during the spring and fall, the rainy season. Okay, this is the reality. If you don't use a non-woven geotextile fabric, soil separator from your French drain, that is punched twice like ours for increased flow rating so you don't have issues, this is what happens. This is what they're not telling you. They say, yeah, you want to put stone under the pipe. Well, if you don't use the fabric, you see what you get. So we're able to put our pipe right down on the fabric that mud during the rainy season doesn't end up filling the void of your pipe, the void which moves the water, the void between your stone, that void which moves water. The geotextile, non-woven filter fabric has never disappointed me, and it's never caused a problem with a system in 35 years that I've installed. So I recommend it no matter where you live. There's so many benefits, it's endless, but the last thing it does is harm your system. It's all pluses. It's all benefits. So right here, this is the high spot of our French drain. And then we slope it that way, and we slope it this way. So people don't understand. That's how subdivisions are built. In urban and suburban communities, your street goes up and down. The low points of your street are where the storm drains are. Well, our hammer drill broke last night before we pulled off the job. So coring, so notice how we're sloped. We're sloped. We got good slope, but look at how it filled up with water. So all this is subsurface water. So think about that. You ask, how does a French drain work? Well, when you dig out that heavy clay and you put stone in with a pipe to create a big void, see right here, we were coring through the sidewall of a foot of concrete on this storm drain catch basin, and the hammer drill broke. You can see there's some pieces of the core we didn't get through. So throughout the night, this trench, it still did what it's supposed to do. We dug out the clay. We got it all sloped to here. You see how the water got higher and higher and higher as we ended up down towards, sloped towards the storm drain. So that's how French drains work. All right, so there's our fabric. We're using a non-woven geotextile fabric. And what's really amazing about this commercial grade is the fact that we put it through a process and we have it punched twice. So there's thousands and thousands and thousands of little holes. So one of the questions I get asked often is, can't I just build it without the fabric? Okay, so we don't use the fabric, let's say. So, during the rainy season, the lawnmower's running over your French drain. I don't know what you have for equipment to cut grass, but most people are riding lawnmowers these days. They're not walking behind a real mower, like a light mower that you push that's not motorized. Those days are behind us. So now look what happened to the voids. All the voids that would normally move water. That's why you put stone in the drain. You put stone in the drain so that the voids between the stone can move the water. And that's why you put a pipe in the stone, because it creates a monster void, okay? So instead of losing all this void, like this is a mess. Like the bottom of this French drain without non-woven geotextile fabric, double punched, is short-lived. Okay, this is what they're not telling you. The reason why our fabric works better and better and better each and every year, the drains work better. As the turf growing on the fabric roots through all the holes in our fabric. That's why we have it punched twice. Now, I didn't want to come back to a system I put in 10 years ago, dig it up, cut a contained system. Obviously, I'm going to have to mend this and put it together properly. But you can see how clean the stone is. There's no dirt in there. Those voids, they're open to move water. Now, those roots, they prevent the fabric from getting plugged. Through gravity and capillary action, the roots give the water a direct path into our French drain system. Now, the roots, they'll go down, you know, for sure 5 inches in our system, but we got a 14 by 14 stone trench with the pipe all the way at the bottom. So it's not going to be a problem. And there's something called air pruning, and our systems breathe really well. They vent really well. So it just air prunes any roots that make it to the pipe. So I don't like putting our subscribers in what I call the French Drain Man spin cycle. And I like to keep the channel light. I don't like to get too technical. But due to the channels on YouTube misleading homeowners, again, once you put your grass over top of this and the roots grow through the thousands and thousands of holes, remember, we have this put through a process where we punch a second set of holes. The holes actually are 2 different sizes, and I'll tell you why. The grass, it starts out like a thread, and then the roots get bigger. So this is early spring. These roots are pretty much dormant. When this stand of grass plants gets ripping, these roots will go deeper and the roots will get thicker. So this works out great, because when the grass starts to go dormant in the fall, that's when we see an increase in rain. When the root recedes a little bit, it leaves a really big hole. And in the spring, when we're getting tons of rain, it takes weeks for the grass to root and get really, really thick again. Nice thick root. Meanwhile, you have these big holes that the grass is keeping opened up for you, letting the water run into your French drain system.